16 extra large shrimp, deveined with shell. I have it seasoning in 2 packets of Sazon with Azafran. I also have here 2 tablespoons of parsley and 1 teaspoon of ground black pepper. Here are 2 medium to large size green plantains that I cut a 1/2 inch round and then cut in quarters. This is sitting in water with 3 rounds of adobo to season. Marinate this for at least 30 minutes. So I have my dial on a 4. I'm heating up my frying pan for the plantains. And here right now, I have a 1/2 stick of butter melting on high. I have it on dial 6, but as soon as this melts, I will be bringing this down to a 4. To this, I'm gonna add my 2 tablespoons of garlic. It's not full. I'm gonna add my onions. My onions were sliced in half. I'm also adding 1/4 roughly chopped green and red pepper, 1/4 each. I'm gonna put a lid on this. I'm gonna lower this down to a 3 and cook this for about 10 minutes. And I'm gonna get started frying on the plantains. I'm gonna go ahead and add in my shrimp that's been marinating. I'm gonna put this lid on it, and I still have it on a 4. I'm gonna leave it like this for about 10 minutes and we'll be back. Make sure as you're cooking this halfway through that you're able to turn it over, because you want the shrimp to cook on both sides, not just one. So make sure that within that 10-minute time span that you're cooking, you're flipping the shrimp over. Now go ahead and lower this down to simmer on your dial. This is looking and smelling delicious. Now to this, we're going to add a 1/2 can, 4 ounces of tomato sauce. We're also adding our red pepper flakes to this as well. Depending on how hot you want it, it's up to you. I like to just sprinkle just a little bit. So that was probably a 1/4 teaspoon, if that. Give that a stir. And then you're gonna take 1 packet of regular Sazon with Achiote and Culantro and add that. And to this, you're going to add 4 ounces of water. Now, I want the sauce to thicken up a little bit, so I'm going to actually raise the dial up to a 6. And I'm going to cook it on high for about 3 minutes. Cook on high for 3 minutes with the lid on to thicken up the sauce. I'm on my last batch of frying my green plantains, and as you can see, they look like little chunks. You want to taste one to make sure it has good flavor, not too salty. Has good flavor. You can tell it had a little bit of adobo. The reason why I cut them this small is because when I go to put them in the pilon, it's easier to mash, as you'll see. Now, if you don't have a pilon like this, you can also use like a small cereal bowl. In here, I have saran wrap, and the reason why I do that, and you should do that with this or in your bowl, is because when you go to mash the plantains and you want to form it, when you flip it over upside down, you'll have a nice shape and it won't fall apart if it's stuck inside the wooden pilon. So here is my saran wrap. And then I have a little bit of oil in there. I'm going to take a piece of paper towel and kind of swish it around so that when I go to do my plantains and form it, it's not sticking. So that's the whole point of the olive oil in there. Okay, so this is almost done. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take the lid off. As you can see, it has a nice sauce flavor going on. I'm going to go ahead and taste it. The flavor is delicious. I don't need to add anything else. Has a little bit of hot from the flakes, but that's good. All right, so I'm going to turn this off, keep the lid on it. I'm going to go ahead and start working on my plantains. So here I'm going to take a couple of chunks, and what you want to do with your pilon stick is you start mashing it. You want to make sure that it's like you're making mash out of it. And in between that, I'm going to add just a little bit of garlic. And I'm going to add more chunks. Okay. And you want to basically keep going. You don't have to add more garlic if you don't want to, but I'm going to add more plantains and then probably do another little bit of garlic and then top it off and make sure that it's all finished at the end of it. And we'll be back. All right, so as you can see, I filled my plantains mashed all the way to the top. And now I'm going to invert it that out gently. Okay. So as you can see, that's my mofongo there. And I like to kind of dress it around. And I like to drizzle a little bit of the juice on top. So here you have your mofongo al camarón ajillo, fried mashed green plantains in shrimp garlic sauce. I'm gonna go ahead and have a taste. This is delicious. I hope you enjoy this recipe as much as I do. Happy cooking.